Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot. Now, I'm just wanting to try this. The internet isn't great here, but I was told that I had to try this. So I'm going to wait and see if some people can come on and then see if people can hear me and see me okay. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Tori. Yeah. Can you see and hear me okay? Like I say, the internet isn't great where I am, but I've just came off the beach and they said to do this so you can see and hear me. Absolutely great. Absolutely great. So I'm in Mexico now. Bit of a crazy week. I was meant to be in Costa Rica and I went to the airport. I had a crazy day of traveling. Got to the airport and they wouldn't let me fly to Costa Rica. So a lot of craziness, and then I ended up in Mexico. So I'm here for the next days, I think. But you look great. Thank you. I literally haven't got a pick of makeup on. I've just come straight off the beach. So yeah, you're getting all the beachy vibes. But saying that, we're having a thunderstorm at the moment as well. So it's not brilliant weather, but it's really nice. So thank you everybody for being here. Like I say, I feel this Virgo new moon tomorrow is going to be important. So I don't know. I'm just going to see whatever they've got for me. I think it's going to be a bit of not a tough one, but it's not going to be plain sailing. That's what I'm getting. You know, this Virgo pickiness and Virgo kind of perfectionism is going to come in quite hard over the next couple of weeks. So I'm just going to go with what I'm picking up psychically, and then I will go into the cards with what the cards are saying. Amy, you've just got another light work has just got to Mexico as well. It's interesting because Saturn line runs through here. And I have been tested already since I got here. I got sick. I had fever and everything, and I thought, oh God, no, I haven't got the C word, but it turns out it was actually food poisoning. So yeah, I think too much ice in drinks, you know, it was. But I'm cool now. But in a very strange place. I don't know if anybody is feeling that as well. I'm just I don't know. I'm not feeling massively upbeat. I'm not feeling down. It's almost like, you know, the calm before the storm. That's what I'm kind of feeling. It's like something is happening, but I'm not sure what. The last couple of days or since I got here, I haven't even been using cards. I've just been like, it's almost like I've turned off the spirit and thought, right, okay, this is it. I'm just being. I need to be a human being for a while rather than a human doing. That's what I'm feeling. So you're feeling that as well. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Whatever is coming up, if you feel like doing something, do it. If you don't, then don't. Don't try and force yourself to do anything that isn't flowing naturally. Okay. So this is what I'm feeling with this. This is what I'm feeling personally. Now, what else I'm getting with this is, I think it was William Morris, who was a famous Victorian designer. And he said, have nothing in your house unless you think it's exceptionally beautiful or entirely useful. Okay. And this came in straight away when I sat down to do this video today. This is a time of cleanup. Okay. It's a deep clean. So, you know, it's Virgo season. We need to get them rubber gloves on. We need to get that bleach out. And we really need to kind of gut all of our life, you know, really give it that deep, deep clean. Because I feel that anything that is not useful, that is not beautiful, and that is not giving us back, anything that is like almost gone stale, that it's just there, you know, like that old lamp that you got from your grandma or something like that, and you keep it because it's sentimental value. Get rid of it. You know, this is what it's talking about. And I feel this is on an emotional level as well. Okay. Emotional, physical level. and it's stuff about ourselves that we don't want to hang on to. Now, we've done so much healing over this past month, but we're still clinging to the old stories. There's almost a comfort in the old way of being, and I feel that this is wanting us to get rid of it all, because we cannot live the life that we're meant to live when we're still clinging on to the life that we've lived, if that makes sense. Yeah, we've got to look at, is what we are doing now supporting the life that we want to live, or is it allowing us and enabling us to live in the old stories that have kept us stuck for years? Okay. Come to Sedona. I'm a volunteer at a sacred place. Would love to give you access to the spaces. Oh, you never know, Lisa. I am going to the States on the 15th. God willing. I don't know why God willing's came in there. I never ever say that. So I don't know. I'm meant to be there for, I think, 5 days. So this is what is coming through with this. I really feel it's almost like a review, like an audit of our old life. Okay, what needs to stay, what needs to go. This is what we've got to do, and we've really got to go deep inside of ourselves for this as well, because if we are not, hold on, sorry, they're coming through with me. Yeah, if we are not coming from that place of purity, of kind of clarity, okay, then we're not going to attract that. And this is a time for us to actually, where we have really got to clean our own shit up, okay? This is it. And that means, anybody around us who isn't, with us, there isn't loyalty, there isn't, we're not feeling it, but it's nostalgic or whatever. This is time to let it go. It really, really is. And this is why I'm saying it could be a bit harsh for us, because it's not very nice to just let things go. But if we hold on to them, what we could be doing is we could be blocking our new path. I was talking to a friend about this the other day, and they were saying, but you keep saying these things are coming for me and they don't. And I said, because you're completely blocking your path. You don't take the advice and you stay somewhere where you're not happy and then expect something to come along, and you're not moving in that direction. So this is what we've got to do. We've got to move in the direction we want to go, because, we talk about manifesting our life, and I've just been writing about this for this course. And like I say, because I'm traveling, I haven't been able to send the application forms out. But please know, everybody that is on the waiting list and anybody that wants to be on the waiting list, please send me an email to info@lovebuddhatarot.com, because the applications are going out shortly. Once I get to the States, that's when, everything gets started, because the internet is great. I know where I'm going to be. But I was writing about manifesting, and, with our manifesting, we all believe, everybody talks about manifesting now, and they're like, right, we'll do a vision board and we'll do this and and then it'll come to me. That is wrong. That is not how we manifest. When we manifest, we have to take action. So say, for instance, you want a pair of shoes, okay? You decide what color you want, you decide what size you want, and then you have an option. You go on the internet, you find the ones that you want, and then you just don't go, right, okay, they're the ones I want, they're going to come to me. What you do is you place your order, you take action, you place your order, you put in all your details, and then you wait for them to arrive. You could then go to the store and get them if you wanted. But if you go into a bookstore looking for shoes, you're not going to get them. You might find a book on the history of shoes. You might see people wearing shoes, all of that, but you're never going to get your shoes there. So the environment and the action that you take is so important in your manifestation and in what you will eventually receive. Okay? So I get very annoyed. I get very pissed off, right? I'm getting very pissed off at this moment in time. I'm pissed off with the spiritual community. I'm pissed off with all of the bullshit that's out there, and it's like, I get it. Everybody is trying, but it's when they're not taking responsibility, or when they're given little snippets of something that's true, but not the whole bigger picture. And then people are getting, feeling let down because they're not getting what they want. They're not getting the results that they want. And it's because they're only doing half of the work. So this is why I get, I get mad, because then I get people coming to me, and clients, and they're like, yeah, but I've done all of this and it still hasn't happened. But it's like, because you've only done half of it, and this is what I feel when we are in service or whatever, we have a responsibility to be giving out proper information, information that will make people's lives better. I've said about this course that I'm doing, it will change your life. There's no like, it might do, it will. Everything that I've put into this and put into this with spirit, it will change your life. But whether people want to do that work to change it, that is a different matter. What I can guarantee is I can guarantee that the work I will be given and the guidance I will be given will be life-changing. However somebody wants to take that is their, that's their prerogative. If they want to follow it, great. It's like you get a diet or an exercise plan. Yes, it works, but only if you do it. And this is what I feel is going on at the moment. And this, I did think twice about whether to do this video, because I was like, can I inspire people when I'm really like pretty pissed off with the world? But they said, just come on and speak your truth. And this is what I'm trying to do. So this is what we've got to see. We are not going to, there's no knight in shining armor or knightess. Is there such a thing as a knightess in shining armor going to come along and save us? Okay. But what I want to say is there is every opportunity, and we have got all of the tools, and there is the magic in the world that can make us live a life that we want to live. Okay, but we've got to take responsibility for it. We can't just sit around twiddling our thumbs and expect it to happen. That is not how it works. Spirituality is about taking accountability. It's about taking responsibility. It's about realizing that, yes, we are spiritual beings, but we're living this human experience, and we have to learn about that. So all of these tools, these spiritual magical tools that we have, will only work when we integrate them. We cannot live on the surface with them. And this is what this Virgo new moon is saying. It's about going deep within to them corners of ourselves and sweeping out all of that shit, that's congregated. This could be people, this could be thoughts, this could be old stories, this could be old ideas, it could be anything. And unless we sweep that out and clean ourselves up, as well as our environment, and as well as our thoughts and our visions for the future, we're going to get what we've always got. And this is where we need to make change. So this is it, it's like, we've got to trust, but we've also got to dust, okay? This is what we're saying. So I'm just seeing what, all right, okay, we've got some of the God Squad in there as well. So this is why this Virgo moon might be a little bit uncomfortable. Okay, that's it. But if it's making you uncomfortable, that is because you have got too comfortable where you're at. Okay, that's what they're saying here. So where do you have to move? And, anything at all. When I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying, like, if we go to fold our arms like that, right? Go to fold your arms in the way you would normally do them, and we do it, and it's natural. But then if we try folding our arms in the other way, it doesn't feel right, okay? Feels uncomfortable. It doesn't, that's not right. Who's to say it's not right? It's just because we've been doing it one way for so long. And this is what happens, we get that used to seeing something in one way, that anything else seems uncomfortable or weird, or it doesn't feel right. Okay, but that's only because we're conditioned to be living the way that we were living. But the whole point of all this is to change that. Now, what they're saying to me here is we've got to trust. We've got to trust that our future can be better than our past. I don't feel there's anybody here who would completely say that their past has been amazing. Okay? We are all traumatized in one way or another. We've all been traumatized in this last month, without doubt. Everybody has. We've been plunged into this change, and change, we do not like change, but change is inevitable. Okay? Yes, we might have found some of our strengths in this last month, they're saying, but our hearts are heavy at this moment. So what they're saying here is that what we need to do is stop holding ourselves back, okay? I think, if anything, this last month has proven to us how precious life is, how precious our freedom is, how precious connection is, how important it is to be around others, how finding joy in simple things is important, how important nature is. All of these things that we took for granted in the past, this last month has taught us how important they all are. Okay? But what we're doing is we're still holding on to the old way of being. We're wanting things to go back to normal, and they're not going to go back to normal because the way it wasn't working. So now we've got to let them walls and them ideas and them old doctrines and dogmas, we've got to let them fall away. Yes, we're living in uncertain times, but we always have been. We just had the security, within that. But they were still uncertain. Like I said, my mother went out one day in the car and never came back. She got killed. I didn't feel that day, The world wasn't in the turmoil it is now, but it shows that we never know what is going to happen. So what it's saying is that by looking at the past, okay, and looking at the past for our happiness and the past for our contentment and the past for our comfort is not going to work. It's not. So what we've got to do is open our vision to this new life. We've got to get ourselves in shape, like ship shape. I don't just mean with diet and exercise, although that is being highlighted massively here as well. But it's clean up our lives, clean up our shit. Take responsibility. Like when somebody gets clean when they've been on, alcohol or drugs or whatever, and they go into rehab and they have to do counseling and they have to do all of this stuff, which makes them see the old patterns clearly. They understand why they do stuff. They understand where their trauma comes from. And they've got to do that. That is one of the biggest tests of sobriety, to actually see what was the cause of your non-sobriety. What were you trying to escape? Where was the pain? So this is what this Virgo moon is asking us to do, almost put ourselves in rehab, rehabilitation. Now, rehabilitation, they're saying there, this is like, how do we want to inhabit the world? The way we were before this all happened. Were we inhabiting the world in the best way that we could? Because they're saying if we weren't, this is where we are getting a chance to re-inhabit the world. How do we want to show up in the world? How do we want to be seen? How do we want to be of service? Because at this moment in time, there is so much we need to be of service. It is our responsibility, and yes, I get that God are happy, right? This is people appear to have gotten angrier and meaner because people are scared. This is what it is. There was a thing I was reading the other day that was saying the more scared people get, the more right wing they get. If they think they are in danger, people become less kind. It's a crazy messed up world, and I feel we are being played on. This is being played on us. So these people that are angrier and meaner, yes, it's hard to see it, bring heart to see the world how it is. Bring heart to see the venom that is coming from people, but they are in fear. So what we've got to do, the ones that see it for what it is not condemn them. It is to love them. You know, if somebody is in fear, what do? Do you outcast them? No, you don't. You open your arms to them. You say, come here. This is a safe place. I am not going to argue with you. I will listen to you. I will respect your views. But I may be able to show you a different way. I will show you the way back to love. And this is what we need to do. And this is why it is so important for all of us to be in this place. I'm not in this place at this moment. Honestly, I couldn't care less with people at the minute. I really couldn't. I'm like, I'm done. You know, I'm done with the human race. Send me to the moon. Yet these messages that are coming through here, no, are not telling me why it is so important me doing what I'm doing. You know, we talk about light workers. I hate that term. I really hate that term. It's been bastardized so much. But if we have that light that can light that little torch and show somebody there is a different way, show somebody that they can be in love rather than in fear, and show somebody that their life can be different based on their perception of what life can be, then this is our duty to humanity to do it. So we've got to shine. Even if we feel dark, we've got to find that within us, that light within us, you know, that light within our heart. Even if our heart is heavy, you know, we need to lighten it. And this is why this Virgo new moon is saying anything that is making this heavy, get rid of it. You know, we need to get rid of it because we need to be lighter. We need to be shining. We need to be not caught up in the drama. This is all about drama. You know, so when we see these people that are arguing, you know, these people that are saying, if you don't get the thing, then I hope you die and blah, 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 and you shouldn't be allowed in hospital. Realize that is coming from a fear that person has been brainwashed. I'm not saying that I'm right what I'm saying here, you know, it's a personal choice. But know that when somebody is being that aggressive towards something, that is coming from a place of deep fear. You know, say to them, okay, I love you. You know, I hope you remain well. I really do. I don't wish you dead because you have a different opinion to me. You know, I still want to love you through that. And this is what we've got to do, you know, and that's it. We need to lead this way, and we need to lead this way from our hearts. If we are getting caught up in this drama and caught up in this segregation and caught up in this us and them, we're part of the problem. And we need to be part of the solution here. This is what they're saying, you know. I had somebody message me the other day. I put something on. I can't even remember what it was. I'm trying to stay away from the political stuff. And I put something on, and somebody messaged me and said, what are your views on this, Tanya? And I told them views. And they said, thank you. I have nobody to talk to about this. You know, I am really in a bad place because every time I try to mention concerns, I'm shot down. And now I don't talk about them, but I don't feel right about them. So thank you for just making that little post because, you know, just speaking to you has made me feel better. And this is what we need to do. Exactly, Chloe. We need to be tolerant, you know. And there was something I posted yesterday on Instagram. I don't know if it's still there, and it made so much sense. And it's at the end of the day, I'd rather be excluded for who I include than be included for who I exclude. You know, we cannot say we're spiritual beings if we exclude people because of their personal preference or whatever. This has taken us back to, you know, back hundreds and hundreds of years. And in order to see this change, we need to go into our future with an open heart, an open mind, and with love. Yeah, there is totally an agenda. I couldn't even get onto here today. I've been locked out of all of the accounts. I am getting spammed. I am getting people pretend to be me. I am getting anything where I'm almost at the point of going, you know what? I'm coming off social media altogether. But then I know that's what they're trying to do, you know? So those that are speaking their truth, we've got to do it. There's an amazing, I don't know if anybody follows him, a guy, Mark Groves. His page on Instagram is Create the Love, and he talks a lot about relationships, and he's had to open his new his own page called It's Mark Groves, and he's talking a lot about what's going on. And honestly, I am so like in awe of this guy, because this guy is being out there, he's putting himself on the line, he is talking rationally and everything, you know. And he's, you know, he says it's his responsibility to do it. And I feel this is it, you know, and it's, we've got to speak our truth. We've got to, you know, there are people that in the past that lost their lives for this, you know, they spoke their truth. Look at the Emil Pankhurst, all of this, you know, Joan of Arc, shit like that. I'm not afraid I was born to do this. And there is a time, this is the time that we need to be in our truth. Truth does not mean aggression. It does not mean aggression. You know, it doesn't mean we take another side from those that, you know, might not believe in what we believe. It means we open our hearts and our arms to them. We give them that security and that comfort and that safeness that they desperately need at the moment. And that is our truth. Our truth is we are human beings. It doesn't matter what color our skin is. It doesn't matter that we think differently to somebody else. It means that we all feel in the same way, you know, and that we love our fellow man, woman, child, whatever. It doesn't matter, you know. And this is what we've got to come through. And I think this Virgo moon is like clean ourselves up, see what debris has attached itself to us over this last month, you know, because we have got it. You know, have you ever, I mean, I'm a smoker, but can you remember when you used to be able to smoke in pubs? And, you know, you would go out and the next morning you would go to put your jacket on, you'd go, oh God, that stinks of smoke. This happens psychically as well. We pick up psychic debris. So you think this 18 months that we have gone through this big change in the world, every single one of us has been affected by that. Every single one. And there will be remnants of that clinging to us psychically. You know, there will be remnants of that internally within us. And this is where we have got to almost have a detox, clean ourselves again, you know, get ourselves cleaned up. It's not that they are the enemy, these ones feeling different, you know, and we are the ones that are right. It means those are the ones who have been targeted. Okay? So what do? If we just go, well, they've been targeted, we don't want that, you know, we're going to go this way. That makes us just as bad. So what we've got to do is we have got to live in our truth. We've got to live in our authenticity. We have got to be the change we want to see in the world. And you know what? When we are there standing our light, this is when people will come to us and go, how do you do that? I had when this whole thing started, the amount of messages that I received from people that had mocked my work, that had laughed at me, that had all of this, they all said, you know, Tanya, there's something. Can you please help? Can you please help me to understand? You know, and that's it. The people, they need to know where to come. Because eventually people will realize, hold on, not everything is making sense. You know, but if we've ostracized them and we're that far away, who are they then going to come to for help? You know, this is it. There's no discrimination. Okay? When you come from love, there's none of it. There's discrimination when we look at religions and the man-made idea of love, but that is not true spirituality. You know, that is not the true meaning of love. There is no discrimination within that. So this is where we've got to be strong. And this is what this Virgo moon is asking us to do. But we need to clean up our own lives in order to do that. And it will get worse before it gets better. But we've got to go into our shadows. Everybody who has worked with, you know, with their own work, with their own healing or whatever, they know it's got to get darker before it gets lighter. Anybody who's worked with plant medicine, you know, knows that there is no bad trips. We are given exactly what we need. So what we need to do in that time is take it on board no matter how hard it gets. Know that this is for us and know that we have to act accordingly. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, this is somebody saying there about the thing. yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, you know, and it's getting harder to travel around as well without this. But yeah, I mean, Australia's experiencing the worst, you know, Canada, all of this. But if we're focusing on that, we're not focusing on how we can help that, you know? If we have friends in Canada, in Australia, or whatever, reach out to them, okay? Right, okay, this is the way. You know, if you think this video might help them, send them this. You know, it's like I say, we need to bring this light to where it's dark. Yes, we've got to go in the shadows, but we don't let them consume us. This is when our hearts get heavy, you know, and this is why coming on here and doing something like this, boom, straight away. And look at the light in the room. The room's actually got lighter, you know, since I started this. And this is where the healing happens. So it's like I say, we're not focusing on the problems. We're focusing on shining through the problems. You know, what's that song? We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. And it's keep shining through just like you always do. You know, when people are talking, they're saying it's like what Nazi Germany is. Remember that stopped. Our grandparents, look at what they went through. You know, look at what they went through, the Blitz, all of that. You know, but they all still came out of it, and they came out of it better people. You know? So like I say, focus on what is going to make this better, not on what is making this worse. Are we going to be part of the problem, or are we going to be part of the cure? And I feel this is what the Virgo moon is asking us, to clean up our act. Notice what we're saying. Notice where we're not coming from that place of deep love, from not coming from that place of hope, and not coming from that place of faith. Because if people see the likes of us losing hope, what are they going to do? You know, we've got to show them that there's always hope. And remember, with Pandora's box, you know, when all of the ills of the world were unleashed, the thing that was left in that box was hope. Okay, and remember, Virgo is the healer. Virgo energy, it is the healer. The Florence Nightingale of spirituality, you know. Possibly the wounded healer like Chiron, but it is the healer. So this is what we've all got to look at these next couple of weeks. You know, where do we need to heal ourselves in order to be able to help to heal others? You know, where do we need to clean up our act? Where are we not coming from the heart? And where are we not being true and authentic to who we truly are? Where have we been affected by this that still needs a little bit clean up? You know, give ourselves a spit and polish kind of thing. So I think that's all they have to say about that. It's like Forrest Gump, isn't it? That's all I have to say about that. So does that make sense? Yeah. Like, what's that? A chorus swirling since being given this. Yeah, you know, I mean, we're going to get this. We're going to feel it. We're going to feel it because this is what we're meant to do. And when we go with what feels right and what doesn't feel right, this is where we can guide it. When we get into our head and we start to think, you know, that is where there is a problem. It's always go into our feels, okay? Always go into our feels. Right, I'm going to do readings for the earth signs. Earth signs, right. Okay. So this is for the earth. Yeah, there'll be light at the end of the tunnel because all of us will be there, you know, like fireflies. When we all come together, that's what we need to do. They're trying to keep us apart at this moment. And the more we get into segregation and the more we get into mean girls pointing, you're wrong, I'm right, blah, 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 you know, that's when we're letting them win. And, you know, this isn't about winning, you know, this is about actually this is about taking humanity into where it needs to be. Okay. And that's why we're all incarnated at this time as well. So, right, I'm looking for earth signs here. So what does this Virgo moon bring in for you? Right. It's a time to balance the books, they're saying. Now, when I say balance the books, I don't necessarily mean that this is just to do with money and finances, although it could be. There is something, or there could be a project that you have been putting off. And they're saying, you know, you haven't been putting off on purpose. It's because the time wasn't right. Whereas what they're saying is taking this time of this new moon is actually going to help us review, help us look back at the past, and help us get really clear on what we want to the future. We feel like we've been doing no work. It's funny, I said this at the beginning, didn't I? Like I've just been a human being. But what they're saying is we have already planted the seeds there. So this is a time of strength for us. It's really coming in as powerful. Now they're saying here that the 8th of May is going to be very important for earth signs. I don't know what's happening with the planets on the 8th. If anybody knows, that would be great. So the 8th is going to be important. This is your birthday this month. Yeah, it's mine as well on the 15th. But yes, so the 8th is going to be important for earth signs, okay? And there's going to be almost like ping, 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 like a light bulb moment for earth signs, okay? And it's like, I feel there is going to be a lot of strings from the past, or a lot of ties from the past are going to be let go of, okay? It's like you're going to let them go. There's something that is really going to free earth signs and allow them to move forward, okay? And it's starting from the 8th, okay? This is where it's coming in. And it's something about freedom for earth signs, but it could help in another way. It might be challenging if we get into our head. It's going to be hard, but it's almost saying to you, it is time to step up. It is time to step up. It is time to use your voice. It is time to be seen. And it is time to, it's almost saying there that, it's God will help you. It's almost like, I don't know what I've got to say. Don't worry, it will come, kind of thing. So there is going to be, for earth signs, I really feel there is going to be, this could be talking about your story. This could be, it could be talking about how your journey, how you found your light, kind of thing, when all was heavy and all was. Has anybody got any Palo Santo there, please? I haven't got mine with me, and there's just a real heavy energy came into the chat there, and it's stopping me with this. Now, like I say, we're focusing on the light here, and there's something coming really heavy. So if anybody has any Palo Santo or incense or something like that, could you please burn it? It is going to get there energetically to everybody. I haven't got it here, but I've just felt this really, really heavy come into the chat there. And yes, so it's completely blocked. It completely cut off the channel there as well, which is quite interesting as well. So yeah, this is earth signs. This is about, where you are going to look to your future. What can you do? How can you be of service? How can you help humanity? What is that spark? What is that, what is your vision? How do you see the world? Okay. How do you want to see the world? And this is it's because it's saying it's all systems go. This, I really feel there could be somebody get in touch with you that asks you to do a job, or that asks you to do a talk or something like that. It's something coming out of the blue, but this actually could help you and others in a way. And it's almost like you might think nothing's happening, but bam, this is going to come. And it's going to show you where you have to do the work, okay? There's very divinely orchestrated, I'm seeing here, okay? There's a little bit of synchronicity and magic in this, okay? Now, this could be, you could be asked to go somewhere different in the world. It's global. This is what I'm seeing, and it's connected to earth signs. It's connected to hope, and it's connected to freedom, okay? And it's almost like you are the person for the job. So something could come out of the blue. You could have an idea that you go to somebody with, or something like this. But this is really going to cement your future. So whatever opportunities come up, I would say in the next couple of weeks, earth signs, say yes, okay? Just say yes, because I feel that this is something that is guiding you to where you're meant to be, and also to your purpose on this planet, okay? This is divinely orchestrated in some way, And yeah, this is definitely going to give a lot of grounding and momentum to earth signs as well. Okay, right, so I'm going to go with fire sign. No, I'm not. I'm going to go with air signs. Sorry, they told me they want air next. Right, my air signs. Right, again, this is connected to work in some way. Now, I don't know if this is physical work or whether this is kind of spirit work at work. I don't know yet. But what they're saying is it's almost like there is a transformation coming within work, okay? Again, I feel there could be something new coming. But please know that, sorry, I'm just trying to see what they're saying. There's something you're not seeing around your work, okay? There's something you're not seeing around the work. Right, Derek, can we not have that, please, in here? We're not talking, we're trying to bring the vibe up rather than bring it down. Okay, I appreciate what you're saying, but it's like I say, we're trying to keep this high vibe in here. You know, I've just had to ask people to burn. Thank you, Derek, I appreciate that. Right, so air signs. There is something you're not seeing around work, around future plans, and around relationships, okay? Because I feel there is something, I'm getting such a pain in the ear here. If any air signs, oh, no, I understand that, Derek, and thank you. Like I say, it's just that brings it down. I've just tried to keep it higher. You know, I think there's many people will understand and agree with what you're saying. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying it doesn't actually help this situation. We want to try and keep it higher. Okay. So right, so air signs. Sorry again. I'm getting a real pain in right ear. Okay. So this could be something to do. Oh God, it's going right in here and coming right down the throat. This could be something to do with masculine energy. Okay, there could be, I don't know if this is a boss or somebody in authority or whatever, but I really feel that there is somebody is trying to stop you speaking your truth. This is what it is. Somebody is trying to stop you speaking your truth here. And it's almost like I feel because there is something that you could say, or if you start to tell your story, it could highlight their story if that makes sense. So there's yes, somebody is not wanting you to speak your truth because it means that they will have to speak theirs, or they will be questioned on theirs. Speak your truth anyway, okay? Speak your truth anyway. This is so painful. I can't believe this. It's almost like it's going right the way down in the neck here. And yeah, this is what it is. Air signs, somebody is trying to stop you, okay? Trying to stop you from your truth, trying to stop you from going forward, trying to stop you from raising higher as well. What I want to say here is this person is not coming from their heart, okay? They're coming from a place of fear. Please go from your heart, okay? Please. If you are in a work situation where you're not feeling it in your heart, get out of it. If you are in a relationship where you're not feeling it in your heart, out of it, okay? This is no longer following orders, no longer following the flock kind of thing. Your safety and your security does not depend on this. You might have thought it has in the past, but it doesn't. I feel there's some way you're going to be trying to be silenced, okay? I want to say this, there could be contracts involved with this. There could be legal contracts where somebody's saying you can't speak about this, almost like a prenup or a NDA or something like that. But it's read the small print. They're going to try and challenge you. You're going to be challenged in some way because they're going to try and get into your head so that you can't actually go forward. Air signs, this is really bizarre, this. And they're going to make you doubt your choices or whatever. What I want to say is please don't doubt. You are getting some really, really important spirit hits. Okay, some really important spirit hits, especially the beginning of this month. Okay, so they could have already started about where you want your future to go, what you want to do as well. But it's almost like there's these obstacles in the way, and could be other people that don't want you going in this direction. These could be people connected to your past. It could be your past work, past relationships, whatever. What I'm saying here is please follow your heart with this. And this is where your true power lies, okay? You go with your heart on this and you can't go wrong. So if anybody is trying to silence you or, trying to get into your head or mess with your head, remember the only way they can do this is if you allow it, okay? So this is, you've got to be strong. Air signs are all about the head. But like I say, you've got to keep yours during this, because somebody is trying to, they could use old manipulative tactics or something like that to kind of stop your freedom, to stop your kind of, they want to fan your flames, they want to shut them down, they want to shut you down in some way. But this is a lot of kind of psychological fuckery, I want to say. Psychological fuckery. I don't know if this is work or relationships, or it could be both, but it's saying here, you're protected within this, okay? You're protected within this. Don't let them scare you into submission. That makes sense? So there, that was for air signs. 2 seconds, I just have to send a message. I was thinking, God, why is it hot here? It's because I'm in bloody Mexico. Right. Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a bizarre one. It's going to be a bizarre one, this Virgo moon. But I think it's going to put a lot of things in order. It's going to sort out a lot of crap. A lot of ducks going to be put in the row in rows here, I feel, as well. All the swirling in the core is clear. Thank you, Paulo Santo Berno, and listening to everything. Yeah. And can I just say as well, we've got to be careful that, yes, we believe what we believe, okay? But the more we're focusing on that which doesn't tie into our narrative, we're bringing that into us, okay? So that swirling in the stomach, or that feeling of fear, or that whatever, we've got to have a look. Are we allowing that into us? Or are we, kind of being gatekeeper to our mind and our body? Because, we might be saying that we don't want to take this, or we don't want to take that, or whatever. But by allowing the thoughts of it in and the intent of it in, then, is that not similar? So this is why it's saying with this Virgo new moon, we've got to be so careful about what we let into our being. And this is also energetically, okay? Also energetically. Yeah, we attract what we don't want. The more we're putting focus on something, that is going to be there. It's not, even if we're looking at it in a negative way, we're still bringing it into our being. Okay? Oh, right. Oh, right. Now, fire signs. I know this sounds really strange, okay? And I know I've never said this before. This new moon tomorrow, if you can, put a glass of water, okay? Like a beaker of water out under this full moon tomorrow. Yeah, fill the water, put it out, and let it stand under this new moon. And the next morning, drink it, okay? Drink it. They're saying there's something, it's almost like a detox. It's almost like a detox coming with this, okay? So, right, fire signs. Right, okay. What I want to say to fire signs here is, whoa. Slow down, okay? Slow down. There's somewhere that fire signs want to go. They're acting rashly. They're like 100 miles an hour, and I'm like, tranquilo. This is what it's saying here. There is no rush, okay? I feel the more you rush something, the more you're going to get caught up, right? You're going to get caught up in something. So it's saying here, whoa, 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 steady. Okay, steady as she goes. I don't know why they're saying this. Now, I feel with fire signs, there could be an element of boredom at this moment. Okay, it's like, oh, well, nothing's happening, and I want to get to where I'm going, and da 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 da. And it's all this, right? This is all in the mind. Know that everything happens within perfect timing. Okay, and everything is exactly how it is meant to be at this moment in time. So what you've just got to do is be there, be with it, be here now, it's saying. Yes, you might be bored. There might not be any drama or anything like that, but that is a good thing. What I want to say here with some fire signs is this boredom or this rushing to get something done could be stemming from an old trauma. Now, this is an old trauma where almost you may have been used to chaos. And chaos could be where you think things are happening. Oh, well, if it's chaotic, then something's happening. And what this is asking you to do is asking you, where do you feel the need for there to be chaos in order, or chaos or friction or something like that? Where do you feel the need that keeps you safe? Because this is what it's asking you. Where do you feel powerful in that? Where do you try and gain power from? Because this is saying that this could be coming from childhood. And what you need to do is not take this into your future. This is why they're bringing this up. This is what they're saying. You've got to clean up fire signs, because it's almost saying your future needs to be calm and zen. Now, it can't be calm and zen if everything is flying around craziness. This is where the change is needed, but you don't like the change because there is something that you are actually wanting to detract from, distract from, while you're rushing and rushing and rushing. There is an element of pain you're not wanting to feel here. Okay? And they're saying, you've got to feel it. You've got to feel this pain. There's got to be something that you look at yourself. I feel this is connected to family. I feel this is connected to family, to childhood. This could be connected to grief and to loss. Okay, it could be loss of a childhood. It is something very deep here, fire signs. Okay, it's not gonna be hard, right? Okay, you open your heart and you go into it. It might be a bit uncomfortable, but you're gonna sort it once and for all here, because you've been swerving it and avoiding it and dodging it for so long, they're saying. And this has been affecting your ability to love and your ability to share with others in some way. So this might be being brought in. So what this is saying is your need for control and to control the situation comes in when you feel that a situation is going out of control. And this is what they want you to clean up. This is where the transformation is for you here. It's your own internal chaos that could be being thwarted. And what they're saying here is, there's no quick fix out of this. Okay, you've got to go through it. You've got to go back to review this pain, to review why this need for control, and you've got to heal it. This is what is important. And this is definitely important around relationships. Definitely. Now, remind me on to say something about that at the end of it, because I really feel this whole Virgo moon is connected to relationships as well. And with fire signs, what it's talking about here is about how you work together with others. Okay. Do you control them? Is it on equal footing? Do you think more in your head than you do in your heart with this? Because this is where you really need to learn. This is where it's going to be shown. It's going to be shown to you to actually to heal over this next couple of weeks. Okay. Now, there could be risks involved with this, but I feel if you don't do this, you're risking so much more. Okay, it's going to be a bit of a tricky one for fire signs, but if you go through it, if you do the work, if you do the whole lot, then you're going to get through this, and you're going to get through this with so much wisdom and a lot calmer and a lot clearer in what you want for your future. I like this. I really, really like this. For some reason, they're telling me bells. there's bells ringing, or there will be bells that will be important around this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm getting for fire signs. Okay, but it's like when the bell tolls. I don't know what that means. When the bell tolls. So yeah, that's for fire signs. Sorry, there's an energy going on. It keeps coming back in. Right, I'm gonna water signs, and then I'm gonna go, because this is yeah, it's really hard when I'm channeling and everything's coming in, and then you sense it. There's something else in there, and it when it's trying to knock me off. We just ordered a new doorbell today. Yeah, when it's trying to knock me off, and it's yeah, it's not cool. It's not cool. But, right, okay, so this is for water signs. Hey, just in time then, Gina. Water signs this Virgo. Right, okay, water signs. Again, relationships. Now, I do believe that this Virgo moon is about relationships as well, and healing the masculine, feminine within ourselves as well as others. But what I'm getting for the water signs here is, I feel there's an ending, okay, or endings are being brought up. This could be a past ending that is being brought to the surface again. There could be some talk of reconciliation or something with this. But what I'm seeing here, it's almost like stop signs, like no, don't go back, because I feel there is a situation where there is healing that's needed to be done. Okay, so there is healing that needs to be done, but this healing can only be done alone. To go back into this relationship or go back into an old relationship where the wounds were made is only going to make the wounds worse. It's not going to be healing. It could be more damaging. Okay. Now, yes, I feel there is a feeling of security with this, okay? But I also feel there's a feeling of mistrust. So it's kind of a double-edged sword here. Like, how can there be security, but how can there also be mistrust? And I feel I feel that this is, it's the mistrust is your intuition. Okay, that's what it is. The security is the familiarity, but the mistrust is coming from your intuition. It is saying to you, beware, beware, beware. Whatever this relationship is, I feel it's going to leave you empty. It hasn't got what you need, okay? It is going to keep you stuck in the past. It is going to keep you stuck with the old ideas. It is, please look, like I say, this Virgo moon I'm talking about, look at the truth here, not illusions, okay? Make sure you're looking through truthful eyes, not rose-tinted eyes. Look at what you have achieved alone, rather than what you have lost around this, or around relationships in the past. Look at the pain and the pressure that this has put you under as well. It's quite bleak, I'm saying, okay? It is not what you seek. It is quite bleak, they're saying. There needs to be changes here. It's a different direction you're going in. Different direction, but you've got to let this go. You've got to let this pain go. Okay? Now, it's almost like I see this pain. It's like this feeling out in the cold, but it's saying it's not. You are more powerful than this pain now. You've got to step into your power. When you're looking at this, when you let this go, you are letting you be free. You are letting yourself be strong in how you need to. There are very good things coming for you here, water signs, okay? But you need to actually believe in you, and you need to trust your intuition. Yes, you might be bored, you might be out in the cold kind of thing, you felt a bit isolated, blah, blah, blah. Life's not how it's meant to be. But it's saying this is time to really go into your emotions here rather than into your head. You've got a lot of aces coming out here. This is a great time for you, water signs. It really, really is, but not if you're clinging on to something that doesn't serve you. So there's big decisions to make with this. I'm getting the song there. Set me free, why don't you, babe? You keep me hanging on. This is it. It's almost like this push me, pull me kind of thing, and it's not cool. And I want to say this isn't love. Love makes you shine. It does not make you kind of stressed in the way that I'm seeing here, and love does not come with control neither, it is unconditional. It doesn't come with conditions. So I want to say with this, it's like, protect your heart, okay? Protect your heart. Look at, is this nurturing you? Is this comforting you? Is this giving you what you need? Is this making you happy? Or is this just allowing you to get rid of some boredom, Because this is it. There's work to do around relationships, water signs. And this Virgo moon is saying that all of this baggage from the past, it's time to let it go, okay? Your future is in the future. It is not in your past. You cannot look to your past to get the flame of your future. And I feel going to have to look at the cold hard truth here, okay? Cold hard truth here. You have support around you. There are people around you. Yeah, this is basically let it go, okay? Let it go. That is where success comes from you. You've walked the path of the past. It's time to now step onto the path of your future, okay? And it's about letting things go. Things that have tied you down, things that have kept you stuck. It's now time for a new vision, and this is a vision where you are shining at your brightest and you have learned the lessons from the past, okay? It's not about going back to the past. The only way you go back to the past is to learn the lessons from it, okay? Don't keep thinking that the past is going to come back. This is time for you to walk away, okay? Yes, it might not be what you want to do, but I'm telling you now, that it will be what you need to do. Because if you hold back from doing this, the lessons are just going to get tougher and tougher, okay? It's going to be a challenge here with you, but I would say there is much better in your future than what you had in your past, okay? There is safety, there's security, there's all of that, but you've got to make the decision to say no to what doesn't fully serve you, okay? So that is water signs. Right, okay. I'm going to go because I've got really, really tired and drained within that. So I hope that made sense to you. Like I say, this is the Virgo energy. Anything that isn't meant to be there, get rid of it. Get it cleaned up. Clean up your act. Clean up your life. Clean up your own side of the street as well. And that will serve you well for the future, okay? If anybody is interested in working with me, on kind of reading all of this stuff, it's a 6-month program. Will be working with me one-to-one for 6 months. If anybody is interested in that, please drop me a line at info@lovebuddhatarot.com and you will be put on the waiting list for it. It's like I say, it's hard work, not hard work. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Sorry about that, but like I say, just when there's energy here and I haven't got tools. Yeah, I hear from Danielle. We speak every week. I spoke to her this morning actually, and I will be speaking to her later on. She's doing great. She's doing absolutely great. So yeah, like I say, the Virgo full moon, it's not going to be totally easy. It's not going to be walk in the park, but everything is going to be worth it. It's just, we've got to clean it up, man. We've got to clean it up. And like I say, this is why I'm looking at a different way to do these videos, because I can't be working with this energy all the time. It's I come on here very open, and like I say, these energies, I don't like working with them. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Everybody have a good one. Okay, stay grounded. Remember, it's Virgo. Stay grounded and keep it clean. Okay, that now.